guys, we are back. We took off yesterday because I had a really bad aura migraine. It was horrible, but I feel okay today. And we're doing another song by Eminem. Which song are we doing?
Today we're doing Mockingbird. You know this?
Maybe?
You should. It was a single,
Oh,
I
like on the
believe.
radio and stuff?
Yeah, I believe it was. I think there was a music video. So I think it was on the radio as well.
Maybe a lot of times I just don't recognize them by the name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
so I
let's
probably
see.
might know it.
I'd be surprised if you don't, honestly.
Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on all social media channels. Links in the description below. And our username is right there.
Yeah, I know sometimes things may not always make sense to you right now. But hey, what daddy always tell you, straighten up, little soldier. Stiffen up that upper lip. What you crying about? You got me. Haley, I know you miss your mom, and I know you miss your dad when I'm gone, but I'm trying to give you the life that I never had. I can see you sad, even when you smile, even when you laugh. I can see it in your eyes, deep inside you wanna cry, cause you're scared. I ain't there, daddy's with you in your prayers. No more crying, wipe them tears. Daddy's here, no more nightmares. We gon' pull together through it, we gon' do it. Laney uncle's crazy, ain't he? Yeah, but he loves you, girl, and you better know it. We're all we got in this world, when it spins, when it swirls, when it whirls, when it twirls. Two little beautiful girls looking puzzled in a daze. I know it's confusing you. Daddy's always on the move, mama's always on the news. I try to keep you sheltered from it, but somehow it seems the harder that I try to do that, the more it backfires on me. All the things growing up as daddy that he had to see. Daddy don't want you to see, but you see just as much as he did. We did not plan it to be this way, your mother and me, but things have got so bad between us. I don't see us ever being together ever again, like we used to be when we was teenagers. But then of course everything always happens for a reason. I guess it was never meant to be, but it's just something we have no control over, and that's what destiny is. But no more worries, rest your head and go to sleep. Maybe one day we'll wake up and this'll all just be a dream. Now hush, little baby, don't you cry. Everything's gonna be alright. Stiffen that upper lip up, little lady. I told ya, daddy's here to hold ya through the night. I know mommy's not here right now, and we don't know why. We feel how we feel inside. It may seem a little crazy, pretty baby, but I promise mama's gonna be alright.
All right. So you know this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I was going to be surprised if you didn't. So he does his little intro here. He says, I know sometimes things may not always make sense to you right now, but hey, what daddy always tell you, straighten up, little soldier, stiffen up that upper lip. What you crying about? You got me.
Okay.
And then the first verse. Did I say verse?
I don't know.
Felt like I did. I couldn't tell if I did. First verse. Says, Haley, I know you miss your mom, and I know you miss your dad when I'm gone, but I'm trying to give you the life that I never had. So obviously,
He's
perfect.
away touring and
Yes,
doing music stuff.
exactly. Um, I could see, yeah, I'm trying to give you the life that I never had. So yeah, he was poor, doesn't want her to be poor. I could see you're sad, even when you smile, even when you laugh. I could see it in your eyes. Deep inside, you want to cry. 'Cause you're scared. I ain't there. Daddy's with you in your prayers. So he sees the sadness in her, between him not being around and him and Kim's relationship falling apart and her having her troubles, you know what I mean? So he can see that in her even when she's happy, that it's affecting her. Yeah. And then when he's gone, she's upset that he's not with her, but he's saying, I'm with you in your prayers.
Yeah.
And he says, no more crying, wipe them tears. Daddy's here, no more nightmares. We gon' pull together through it. We gon' do it. Laney, uncle's crazy, ain't he? Yeah, but he loves you, girl, and you better know it.
So Lainey's not his other daughter?
So I believe Laney was Kim's niece, like biologically, which
Okay.
was Eminem's niece. But Eminem, maybe Kim too. Eminem adopted her though. So
That's sweet.
so he is her father technically, legal guardian at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so very sweet. Yeah,
It's adopted.
yes. So he said, Lainey, Uncle's crazy, ain't he? Yeah, but he loves you, girl, and you better know it. So he's making this song to Haley, but he's also shouting out Lainey too, so she doesn't feel left out.
Yeah, because I was always confused. I thought they were both his daughters, and I was like, I guess Lainey's the younger one, but he knows about her.
Yeah,
But now I get why, because she's not like she's like his, like it is his daughter if he adopted her, but
but later on, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like we didn't hear about her earlier,
yeah,
I think, because she wasn't adopted yet. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And then in what is it? When I'm gone, there's another one. I think he says Whitney, but I forget the story of that one. There's another girl.
No, no.
We'll see when we get there. So he continues saying, "We're all we got in this world. When it spins, when it swirls, when it whirls, when it twirls, two little beautiful girls, looking puzzled in a daze. I know it's confusing you. Daddy's always on the move. Mama's always on the news."
God.
I feel like he was probably on the news way more than her, but
Yeah, it was like he really has to take a jab at her in such like a sweet little song.
well, she was though. So in the music video, he's like, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but he's like watching like reels. See, now I'm confusing. I don't know if I'm confusing this or when I'm gone, whatever. But in the music video, he's like watching old footage of them like as a family, you know, and then for that part, I believe they show like the news report of Kim, like I don't know if it was her suicide attempt or her going to rehab or her getting arrested. It was one
Okay.
of, you know, so she was on the news. I'm sure in Detroit, she was on the local news a lot. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah. I try to keep you sheltered from it, but somehow it seems the harder that I try to do that, the more it backfires on me. All the things growing up, his daddy, I thought he said as daddy, that had to see. Doesn't that sound weird?
Yeah, who's daddy?
Growing up as daddy.
His
Is
daddy?
it growing up as daddy? Let's see. I have the lyrics open on my phone because this always happens that they're fucked up in there. Um, all the things growing up as daddy that he had to see. So yeah, it's a little wrong.
Okay.
Um, that he had to see. Daddy don't want you to see, but you see just as much as he did.
Mm,
So when he grew up, he saw a bunch of crazy, fucked up shit, and he
yeah.
was trying to
Hide his kids from that.
keep that from her. But he says, but you see just as much as he did. So, you know, him and Kim, the drugs, fucking all that shit.
Yeah.
We did not plan it to be this way, your mother and me, but things have gotten so bad between us, I don't see us ever being together ever again, like we used to be when we were teenagers. But then of but then of course everything happens for a reason. I guess it was just never meant to be, but it's just something we have no control over, and that's what destiny is. But no more worries, rest your head and go to sleep. Maybe one day we'll wake up and this will all just be a dream.
Mm,
So it's like weird. It's he's doing Hush Little Baby. So
yeah.
it's like sweet, but it is kind of melancholy and like sad at the same time.
Yeah,
You
it
know what
is
I
very
mean?
sad.
Yeah. So and then the hook. Now hush, little baby, don't you cry. Everything's gonna be all right. Stiffen that upper lip up, little lady. I told you, Daddy's here to hold you through the night. I know Mommy's not here right now, and we don't know why. We feel how we feel inside. It may seem a little crazy, pretty baby, but I promise Mama's gonna be all right.
So where is she?
I forget if she was in like rehab or jail,
Um,
something,
okay.
hospital, some shit, you know.
Hmm.
She had a few issues just like he did, you know.
Yeah.
All right, and then we will pick up here for the next verse.
Okay.
Promise, mama's gonna be alright. It's funny, I remember back one year when daddy had no money. Mommy wrapped the Christmas presents up and stuck them under the tree and said some of them were from me, cause daddy couldn't buy them. I'll never forget that Christmas. I sat up the whole night crying, cause daddy felt like a bum. See, daddy had a job, but his job was to keep the food on the table for you and mom. And at the time, every house that we lived in either kept getting broken into and robbed or shot up on the block. And your mom was saving money for you in a jar, trying to start a piggy bank everything for you so you could go to college. Almost had $1,000 till someone broke in and stole it. And I know it hurt so bad it broke your mama's heart. And it seemed like everything was just starting to fall apart. Mom and dad was arguing a lot, so mama moved back on the Chalmers in a flat 1-bedroom apartment, and dad moved back to the other side of 8 Mile on Novara. And that's when daddy went to California with his CD and met Dr. Dre and flew you and mama out to see me. But daddy had to work, you and mama had to leave me. Then you started seeing daddy on the TV, and mama didn't like it, and you and Laney were too young to understand it. Papa was a rolling stone, mama developed a habit, and it all happened too fast for either one of us to grab it. I'm just sorry you were there and had to witness it firsthand, cause all I ever wanted to do was just make you proud. Now I'm sitting in this empty house, just reminiscing, looking at your baby pictures. It just trips me out to see how much you both have grown. It's almost like your sisters now. Wow, I guess you pretty much are. And daddy's still here. Laney, I'm talking to you too. Daddy's still here. I like the sound of that chair. It's got a ring to it, don't it? Shh, mama's only gone for the moment. Now hush, little baby, don't you cry. Everything's gonna be alright. Stiffen that upper lip up, little lady. I told ya, daddy's here to hold ya through the night. I know mommy's not here right now, and we don't know why. We feel how we feel inside. It may seem a little crazy, pretty baby, but I promise mama's gonna be alright. And if you ask me to, daddy's gonna buy you a Mockingbird. I'ma give you the world. I'ma buy a diamond ring for you. I'ma sing for you. I'll do anything for you to see you smile. And if the Mockingbird don't sing and that ring don't shine, I'ma break that birdie's neck. I go back to the jeweler who sold it to ya and make him meet every carat. Don't fuck with that.
No. I have like tears in my eyes.
Yo, I've heard this song like hundreds of times, and the second verse got me fucking choked up too. It was like making me emotional, and I've heard this so many times. It's crazy. Very, very sad. All right, so yes, second verse starts off. It's funny. I remember back one year when Daddy had no money. Mommy wrapped the Christmas presents up and stuck them under the tree, and said some of them were from me, 'cause Daddy couldn't buy 'em. I'll never forget that Christmas. I sat up the whole night crying. So, obviously describing he didn't have money, so Kim bought presents and said it was from both of them, even though he didn't pay for it. And he was crying. 'Cause Daddy felt like a bum. See, Daddy had a job, but his job was to keep food on the table for you and Mom. And at the time, every house that we lived in either kept getting broken into and robbed or shot up on the block. And your mom was saving money for you in a jar, trying to start a piggy bank for you so you could go to college. Almost had $1,000 till someone broke in and stole it. And I know it hurt so bad it broke your mama's heart. And it seemed like everything was just starting to fall apart. So yeah,
I'm so
I
sad.
know. It's even reading it, I was like getting emotional again. So yeah, so obviously we just discussed Kim bought the Christmas presents, and he's explaining that he only had just enough money to like support them. He couldn't afford presents or anything like that. And then Kim, besides doing the Christmas present thing, she was putting money on the side in a jar, so hopefully she could go to college, but they lived in a really bad neighborhood, so getting broken into and robbed, or the house was getting shot and they had to leave, and then almost had $1,000 and it got stolen. So it was heartbreaking. And then everything was seemed like it was starting to fall apart. Mom and dad was arguing a lot, so mama moved back onto Chalmers in a flat, the 1-bedroom apartment. So it's just a street, Chalmers, it's like a road street in Detroit. And dad moved back to the other side of 8 Mile on Navarro. And that's when daddy went to California with his CD and met Dr. Dre and flew you and mama out to see me. But daddy had to work, you and mama had to leave me. Then you started seeing daddy on the TV. So he's explaining him and Kim, they eventually split up because they're not getting along.
Yeah.
And in that period, that's when Eminem went out to California, met Dr. Dre. Things were starting to, go good for him. He flew out Kim and Haley, and they were only there for so long, and then they had to go back. So he was separated from Haley again, and then she starts seeing him on TV because he's starting to get famous.
Yeah.
He said, and Mama didn't like it. And you and Lainey were too young to understand it. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Mama developed a habit.
Mhm.
So she's getting addicted. And it all happened too fast for either one of us to grab it. I'm just so sorry you were there and had to witness it firsthand. So I don't know why I love the way that the line where he says, and it happened too fast for either one of us to grab it. So like get a hold of the situation, get a hold of her addiction, the fact that he was traveling, and like the family and the relationship. I don't know why that one particular line always sticks out to me. Um, and then, yes, I'm sorry you were there and had to witness it firsthand because all I ever wanted to do was just make you proud. Now I'm sitting in this empty house. So it is this. So in the music video, he's literally just sitting in like this mansion alone, watching like a projector screen of old home movies, and he's just by himself. Yeah. Um, Now I'm sitting in this empty house, just reminiscing, looking at your baby pictures. It just trips me out to see how much you both have grown. It's almost like you're sisters now. Well, I guess you pretty much are, and Daddy's still here. Lainey, I'm talking to you too. Daddy's still here. I like the sound of that. Yeah, it got a ring to it, don't it? Shh, Mama's only gone for the moment. So he's saying he's alone, he's watching their videos and baby pictures, and he's like, wow, you're grown up, you guys are like sisters, and you are sisters, and I'm here for you and I love you. And then mom's only gone for the moment, meaning, she'll be back, she's getting her shit together. And then he goes back into the chorus, which we know, and then he continues with the little outro, which is, I've always loved this part, where he goes in it. And if you ask me to, Daddy's gonna buy you a mockingbird. I'm gonna give you the world. I'm gonna buy a diamond ring for you. I'm gonna sing for you. I'll do anything for you to see you smile. And if that mockingbird don't sing and that ring don't shine, I'm gonna break that birdie's neck. I'll go back to the jeweler who sold it to you and make him eat every carrot. Don't fuck with Dad. So that's a classic little Eminem twist there at the end. So, Mockingbird.
So I know this song. I hadn't heard it in a really long time.
Yeah.
It made me cry.
Yeah. It almost made me cry too. Very
I don't
emotional.
like that.
Yeah, maybe that. Especially on fucking camera.
Yeah, this is
It's so
weird.
awkward.
Like crying.
Yeah. Very weird.
The first time. But yeah, so it's very good. Um, I don't like crying, so I probably won't listen to it
Yeah.
again. But yeah, it's very good. It's clearly good if it can make me cry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love this song. I've always loved this song. Like from when this album came out, I was obsessed with this. Like I said, I believe it was a single. There was a music video. So, yeah, and I always thought it was like a sweet song. Like it is. No, it definitely is, but it never made me emotional. I don't think, at least. Like it kind of did now listening to it. And I was like, oh, wow.
Because you're really reading the lyrics.
Yeah.
You're
And
like going over it word for word.
yeah. And like I'm envisioning, um, I guess I'm envisioning his life through his eyes, looking at his daughters, and through their eyes, looking at their father, and like the sadness of, the them being poor and then not having money, and then all of a sudden he gets famous, but then they're split up, and then he's on the road. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like all these different situations. It's crazy, but it's an awesome song. I think it's beautiful. It's one of his sweetest songs, I would say.
Yeah, I would say
You
so.
know,
Of what I know.
yeah, there was, so he does say fuck at the end, but I was trying to think. I was like, I don't know if there's really any curses even in this song.
Maybe that's the only one.
Maybe there might have been a few others. I think maybe shit or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this song. I always have. It's great. It's interesting in the context of the album. We're coming off of that string of all those
All
crazy,
the
silly,
funny songs. Yeah.
yeah, and then spend some time, and then this.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yes. See you soon.